Are you happy now? Are you happy now? We have finally lost this season after 16 league games. Oh boy. Chelsea 2, Manchester City nil to dish out, our first loss of the season. Wow, what a game, what a game, what a game. First of all, I must say I'm not mad at the loss, but I'm very disappointed, because it could have went differently. First off, let me say congrats to Chelsea. Sarri and his boys went out there and played well. Sarri took the humble approach. He said, he never defeated Pep Guardiola before. And, he just went in there thinking, anything is possible. And they went out there, they believed, and they came out with a big, humongous W. And which means Liverpool are the only unbeaten team remaining in the Premier League. So first of all, let's take a look at the lineups. Let's not get too far ahead of ourselves and just let's take a look at the lineups. Let's start with the Chelsea lineup. For Chelsea, they had Kepa in goal, Azpilicueta, Rudiger, David Luiz, who was, the man of the match in my opinion. Marcos Alonso, Mateo Kovacic, who had to go off injured, get better soon, Kovacic. Jorginho, N'Golo Kante, who scored the opening goal, awesome stuff. Pedro, Eden Hazard playing as a false nine, and Willian. For City, we had Sane, Raheem Sterling as a false nine, which I think was the wrong decision. Sterling should have played in his regular position. Jesus should have, started this game. Show some confidence in Jesus with the absence of Aguero. How else is he going to come good, We had Mahrez over on the right, David Silva, Fernandinho, Bernardo Silva, Delph, Laporte, Stones, and Kyle Walker in the defense with Edison in the goal. He was breached twice today. City, they weren't their best today. Let's just say they weren't their best. Chelsea came out there with a plan. They executed it well. Came out victorious. The first goal was avoidable. It was avoidable, no one was marking N'Golo Kante. Sane, he was there, switched off basically. Hazard passed the ball over to Kante and he just side-footed in the roof of the net. Goal. And at that point, I was like, oh, shit. Damn, it seems like we're going to lose this game today. City, they tried, they kept pressing. But they weren't able to breach Kepa. I was like, wow. It's my reaction right now, 1-0 going into the first half. And, Pep must have given the team a really stern talk, came back out with some kind of plan to get back into this game. But, Chelsea kept pressing. They were relentless and they came up with the goods again in the 78th minute through, a corner routine, David Luiz, towering high and somehow getting that header, on target into the back of the net. I don't want to point out any individual blunders really, apart from the Sane, mistake. Well, not really mistake. He switched off. I don't really want to point too much fingers at too many people. It's just a day where we just came out second best. And losing to a team like Chelsea, you can't be mad because this is a team that is capable of beating any team in the world. They spent the money, they have the players, with Hazard, one of the best players in the world, arguably, Willian, Pedro, all still, playing well. Jorginho, one of the best, CDMs in the game right now. N'Golo Kante, we all know what he can do. So, come on. They spent, Kepa, the most expensive goalkeeper. They spent the money. They brought in Sarri. You have guys like Ross Barkley, Loftus-Cheek playing really well this season. So you gotta give them props. They came out and they did their thing and they played well. With this loss, City are second. They're second behind Liverpool, 1 point behind Liverpool, who remain the only unbeaten team in the league on 42 points. And Chelsea are now third, 34 points. So City and Liverpool have pulled away from the bunch, 7 points ahead of the bunch. And we might, I'm not going to say we might, I think we're going to have a title race on our hands. It's going to be a City Liverpool title race. But with this loss, I'm not mad, I'm disappointed because I think we could have at least picked up a point in this game. It was a strange match to watch, to be honest. It was really strange. Both teams playing in blue kind of looked weird on the eye. It was just a strange game, and us going behind and, going 2 down, it was just strange. We were already beaten this season by Lyon. So teams know that we can be beaten. We can be beaten. It's just a matter of when it's going to happen. And it's not a bad thing that it happens because it kind of relieves that pressure of being unbeaten, game after game going in unbeaten. So the guys would actually say, okay, that's a relief. We now know some of our weaknesses, some of the things that we need to work on going forward. If you're winning, you're winning, you're winning. You keep improving, but in a way, you seem kind of perfect when you're really not. So when you lose or draw, you can see things that you really need to work on in order to, go on to win championship and titles. So it's not actually the worst thing in the world, and as soon as the game finished, Liverpool fan from work called my phone. This guy never calls me, like hardly ever, and he's asking me, so what happened today? And I'm like, bro, what happened. We lost, You can't be a sole loser. We lost the game. Congrats to Chelsea. They played well. Unlikely goal scorers as well, but, they came up in the goods, so congratulations to Chelsea. We just have to come better next time. We play Hoffenheim next in the Champions League. Then we face Everton at home, Leicester in the League Cup on the road, Crystal Palace. These are fixtures that we should win, but, we really can't take our foot off the gas because with Aguero not being available was a big miss today. It would have been a total different game with Aguero. Would have been a total different game with Kevin De Bruyne in there. Would have been a total different game with Benjamin Mendy. But, no excuses. We have to use the players, available to us. But we weren't full strength. We are not full strength, but still, we are playing very, very well. I must say that. So the guys just have to, brush off that loss and come better next time versus Everton in the league and versus Hoffenheim in the Champions League. So that's my take on the match, Congratulations, man. Congratulations. If we actually want to take a quick look at the stats, we had 14 shots on goal. Chelsea had 8. We had 4 on target. Chelsea had 5. We had 62% of the possession, which we did not make the best of. Chelsea 38. 642 passes to Chelsea, 411. We had 88% pass completion to Chelsea's 81. So we had 13 corners comparing to Chelsea's 1 corner, which resulted in that goal. So we played really well. We played good. But, Chelsea just took their chances when they had them. We had chances too, but, I don't want to go back and say what may have happened if that had, gone in and whatnot. It's a loss, and we screwed up today. So I want to talk about the other Premier League fixtures. I already talked about the Chelsea City thing. I have to move on. We all have to move on as City fans. And let's talk about the other Premier League fixtures which were played on match day 16. Then we're going to do predictions for tomorrow's games, Monday's matches as well. So Bournemouth 0, Liverpool 4. An emphatic victory by Jurgen Klopp and his boys. Mohamed Salah with a hat-trick. 25th 48th and 77th minute hat trick. That third goal was awesome, man. That was awesome. Brilliant individual goal going around the goalkeeper, Fox in the defense. It was awesome. Steve Cook scored an own goal to make it 4, and Bournemouth now lose 2 in a row there, or maybe even 3 in a row. They lost to United, I think. Let me check. No, they lost to City. Well, they won the last game, so pardon me with that. But I remember they lost to Arsenal, they lost to Newcastle, and they lost to Man United. So they were on a, they lost to United, Newcastle, Arsenal, City. They won versus Huddersfield, and now they're back losing again. So they're not doing too bad this season still, though. Not doing too bad this season at all. So Liverpool, they go top of the table with this win, 42 points. And Bournemouth are 8th, 23 points. 17 points or so from safety. So Eddie Howe and his boys have done a really, really good job this season. Liverpool, they're playing well. Come on. No denying that at all. No denying that. Even though they haven't been doing well in the Champions League. On the road, in the league, they have been impeccable. Only 3 draws. So, Liverpool can be beaten. We see what happened in the Champions League. City can be beaten. Chelsea already lost twice. Arsenal already lost twice. So, we know these teams can be beaten. But it takes a top team to beat a top team right now in the Premier League. So I rather for City that we lost to Chelsea than we lost to West Ham, Cardiff, or Newcastle, one of these teams. I'd rather lose to one of these top 6 teams. But Liverpool, awesome display again. Let's move on to the next fixture. Burnley won, Brighton 0. Burnley picking up a well-needed victory. They needed this. James Tarkowski scored in the 40th minute to, give Sean Dyche and his boys a well-needed 3 points. They are now 17th with this win on 12 points. And for Brighton, they're 11th, 21 points. So Chris Hughton, why am I saying Steve? Chris Hughton, he has been doing really well with the team this season. 19 points or so away from, safety. So that's pretty good. But a loss against a team like Burnley, who was struggling, not so good. Not so good. A draw would have been a more favorable result for Chris Hughton. So, Man United 4, Fulham 1. I saw this game early this morning. Man United just steamrolled Fulham, who went down to 10 men. Ashley Young scored a brilliant goal. Juan Mata side-footed one in. Lukaku tapped one in. And Marcus Rashford scored an awesome goal. We had Abubakar Kamara scoring another goal. Now makes it his second Premier League goal with a penalty in the 67th minute. And Andre Frank, Zambo Anguissa, the Cameroonian, got sent off in the 68th. Man United with an important victory to take them to 6th on 26 points. 16 points off the leaders, Liverpool. Let me just make that very, very clear. Fulham are still 20th. And Ranieri, I think this is his first loss or second loss or something. Second loss this season since he took over. They are 9 points. So Fulham staring down the barrel of relegation. So they need to get their act together. So let's move on to the next fixture. Oh, for Man United, Paul Pogba was on the bench again today. What's going on with that? One of the best players in the world being benched. I looked at it and I was like, wow, he needs to get out of that club. He needs to either go back to Juventus or go to PSG or somewhere, Barcelona. But United is not the place for you, Paul Pogba. Arsenal won, Huddersfield 0. It was a feisty game. It went down to the wire and Arsenal prevailed again. 21 match unbeaten streak in all competitions. A brilliant bicycle kick goal by Lucas Torreira. Oh my goodness, the Uruguayan has been, a revelation for Arsenal since his summer signing. Saw him at the World Cup and he was taking, set plays and, free kicks. And I was like, this is a special guy. Really short guy, but, he is an N'Golo Kante-esque type of player. And I heard that Emery told him to go up, go forward a bit more. And he has been doing so, and he scored his second ever Premier League goal. I think it's in back-to-back games as well. I might be mistaken, but important goal today. And Arsenal, man, they continue doing really, really well this season. They are now fourth, 34 points after 16 games. As I said, 21 matches, unbeaten streak in all competitions. Huddersfield, 18th, 10 points. So David Wagner and his boys continue to struggle. It seems like Huddersfield will drop down this season. I don't think they can survive 2 seasons in a row playing like this at all. They need to up the intensity. They need to really up it. But they played well. Nil-nil after 83 minutes, a late goal, a scrappy end to the match. They played well. So they need to do better. They need goals. You're only going to get favorable results when you score. The next game, West Ham 3, Crystal Palace 2, a come from behind win for West Ham United, man. West Ham has now won 3 in a row, I think. This is not normal. This is definitely not normal. So in their last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games, they have only lost once. Wow, Pellegrini. West Ham. Wow, I also keep in touch with a West Ham fan. He was telling me that we should go to the Premier League Fan Fest today in Manhattan, but I'm like, I'm not interested in that. And after defeating Newcastle 3-0, defeating Cardiff 3-1, and now defeating Crystal Palace 2-0. Crystal Palace scored first through James MacArthur in the 6th minute, but West Ham replied with a flurry of goals in the 48th minute through Robert Snodgrass. That was a good goal. Javier Hernandez with a poacher's goal in the 62nd minute, and Felipe Anderson with an awesome goal in the 65th. Jeffrey Schlupp, brought Crystal Palace back into the game with a 76th-minute goal, but it ended 3-2 in favor of the Hammers. So with this win, West Ham going to 10th, 21 points, and Palace, they dropped to 16th on 12 points. So Palace, Roy Hodgson, come on, guys. Come on. You have to do better than that. They need Wilfried Zaha to score, and I think he has been on a barren run for quite a while. So come on, Zaha. Come on. Got to do better. So we have one more game, I think, to talk about. We have a game actually going on right as we speak between Tottenham and Leicester City. I wasn't interested in watching that game after what happened, with our match, a 2-0 loss. And I was like, screw that game, whatever happens, happens. But right now, Leicester at home, they're 2-0 down to Tottenham Hotspur in the 88th minute. We had a goal by Son Heung-min and another one by Dele Alli. Son Heung-min scored in the 45th minute, the first minute of extra time in the first half, and Dele Alli scored a 58th-minute goal. I'm afraid to say that Tottenham will go on to win this match. Definitely should win this match. So with this result, Tottenham should go up into 3rd position, leapfrogging Arsenal and Chelsea. They should go up to 36 points. And for Leicester, they will remain in 9th on 22 points. So that's the way it goes. Those are the matches which will play today. We have games tomorrow and one. We have one game tomorrow and one on Monday. We have Newcastle versus Wolverhampton Wanderers or Wolves. And we have Everton versus Watford on Monday. I'm going to say, oh man, this one is hard. Newcastle at home. I'm going to say a Wolves win. Coming off the back of that impressive victory versus Chelsea. I'm going to say a Wolves win. And look at that. Chelsea losing to Wolves and coming back and beating us, you know what I'm saying? And Wolves drawing with us early on in the season. So, these games are really, really unpredictable. They're hard to predict. So, Newcastle, Wolves, say a Wolves victory. For Wolves, they are 13th right now. A victory would take them all the way up to about 9th. And for Newcastle, they should remain in 15th. For the next match, Everton and Watford, I'm gonna say a draw. I'm gonna say a draw. Everton will remain 7th, and Watford will actually between 12th and 10th position. So, guys, that's my roundup of the match week 16 fixtures. My team, of course, Manchester City, suffered their first defeat of the season. I don't feel too good about it, but it's just part of the game. I have to get over it. We have to look towards the future. Can't stay bogged down for much longer. So, guys, I'm your boy Dominic Rich. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Let me know which team you follow. Let me know who you think will win the 2018-19 English Premier League title. I know a lot of you guys are going to say it's Liverpool, but I still think we can win back-to-back titles. It's going to be a tight one. It's going to be a tight one because, this loss is a very, very, very important loss in terms of, the title race, if there will be one this season, which I think there will be one. But I think Liverpool will lose pretty soon. They will lose pretty soon. They play United soon, and I think they play United next time around. Yes, it will be Liverpool versus United next week. Week 17. That's a day when I'll be actually wishing Man United win a game, against Liverpool. And these teams don't like each other. So, United, I'll be back in United. I'm sorry to say I'll be back in United on that day. It's a weird one, but I'll be back in United to win Liverpool just because, I want them to drop 3 freaking points. But guys, I'm your boy Dominic Rich. Don't forget to leave a like down below. Share the video with a friend. Let me know your thoughts again down in the comment section. And until next time, peace out. Rich Squad.